Hey, you guys, happy Tuesday. Trisha Turner here. I got my good friend Nick Good. We are anything but average, achieving success in life, and that's what this is about. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Hey, Trisha, how are you?
Doing awesome. You guys, if y'all haven't been paying attention, this comes on every Tuesday at 12 o'clock right here on Facebook Live. Purpose is to let you guys know, you know what, whether you're struggling, whatever you're going through right now, you can get through these things. Nick and I both have went through a lot of challenges in our lives. We both have our broker's license. We're in real estate and we're doing really well, and we're going to continue to grow because we're always learning. And that's what this is about, is sharing success secrets and how we're doing things and how we've pushed through things. So Nick, if you could tell everybody kind of where you are in the world, a little bit of your background, and what company you're with right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in Dallas, Texas. It is, what is today? May 11th, and it's in the 50 degrees outside. It's chilly, which is so weird.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. I love it. It feels like fall weather. I've been doing this since 2006, full-time since 2007, and I'm a real estate broker with eXp Realty.
Love it. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to know, how long have you been with eXp and where were you prior to that?
So I've been I was with eXp December of 2018 for 3 days. And then since July of 2019. So my 2-year anniversary is coming up here in 2 months.
All right, you got to stop right there then, because I didn't know that fact about you. So tell me about the 3-day thing. What was that about?
So I came from Keller Williams. So I was with Keller Williams since 2007. And, I kept hearing about EXP, and I kept dismissing it, right? I was like, no, we're happy here. We're good here. And at the time, there weren't a lot of impressive, maybe influential agents that were actually going over to the company. There's early adopters, and a lot of times the early adopters aren't necessarily the influencers. And so we just dismissed it, right? We just had our heads down. We were growing, we were expanding. And in 2018, I had actually opened an office in Houston. And opened an office in Houston. And the problem was, it was going great. But we were given, we were with Keller Williams, and they were helping us, find agents for our team. And they were finding agents within that Keller Williams office that had never sold any houses, and they were afraid that they were going to go out of business. So, we got the best of the best. And we were able to get them in production in less than 90 days. Everything was going well. But because of how that franchise model worked, is that our agents down there were on a higher capped system than if they were on just a regular team there in the local office. And so our agents started producing, and they didn't want to pay that high split or that high commission cap. And so they left us, right?
Yeah.
And so we started looking for better options out there. Should I open up my own brokerage? Yep. Should I look at EXP? What else is out there? I looked at Coldwell Banker, Remax, et cetera. And in December of 2018, we had decided that EXP was the best option because we could expand, and all of our agents were on one lower cap as a team member, right? We didn't have to worry about franchises. We didn't have to worry about state lines or anything like that. So we went to EXP, but behind the scenes, the Keller Williams leadership was meeting with us, and they had made us an offer that was too good to refuse, something that we had to at least look at. And so we withdrew, we pulled back, and quickly realized within 30 days that we made a mistake.
Wow, I did not know any of this. I can't believe you've never shared this with me. This is awesome.
Yeah. And so but what I could not do is I could not have my team go through that, flip-flopping back and forth that quickly. So I kept it to myself, and slowly, about 90 days, it was March of 2019, I was reaching out to our team leader that ran the Good Home team and some of my other top agents. And I said, hey, do you guys do you guys think about EXP at all? They're like, every day. And I'm like, I was like, so do I. Right. But it just wasn't the right, again, I couldn't just say, hey guys, oh, I made a mistake, we're going back to EXP. Right. So waited a couple more weeks, and at the end of May, 1st of June, we had a talk with our team, went through everyone's, pros and cons, and ultimately July of 2019, we left, and we left for good. And it was the best decision we ever made. And like most people that come over here, the number one thing that we said was we wish we would have come over sooner. And we wish we weren't so boneheaded and so stubborn and so closed-minded to not analyze and look at the opportunity.
So when you look back at it now that I've heard this story, because I've never heard this before, so it makes me wonder, when you look back at it now, what is one of the things, like what was your biggest thing that you weren't seeing with EXP, where you're like, no, I'm just not seeing it? What was that? Do you know? Can you pinpoint it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I trusted the leadership within the brokerage that I was with, right? And I was letting their opinions kind of influence my decision-making, or not even allow me to make the decision on my own.
Yep.
Right. And look, I understand it. I get it. That is a retention tool that needs to be done. And what kind of my eye-opening experience is not just that we were expanding in the smaller, the one cap that made sense, was that, look, I'm a business owner and I have to treat this like a business, and I have to look at what's best for the company and what's best for my team. And at the time I was saying no to opportunities before I even knew what the opportunity was. And if I'm a business owner that can, if I call myself an owner, I need to be able to quickly analyze opportunities. And if it makes sense for our organization and betters our organization and our team members, then it's something that we should probably, at least digest a little bit further. And if it makes 100% sense, then we need to make the move.
And so then when you did make that move, what do you think was that thing that you were finally like, boom, I see it clearly now? What was that for your team that just made so much sense?
Well, look, in real estate, it's the relationships, right? So, we loved our relationships. We still have great, amazing relationships with our friends over at Keller Williams. But, we come over to EXP within a couple of months. So October of 2019, EXP had their convention called EXPCon. And that's where we were. Beth Ann Jones took us under her wing and introduced us. Number one, it'd been like we were there for years, right? And so we knew we found our people within our organization. And it was, what we coined it was collaboration over competition, right? Where everyone here is sharing. Everyone here is all about making sure whether it helps them financially or not, they're opening their playbooks and opening their business and saying, hey, look, this is what we're doing that's working. This is what we're doing that's not working. Yep. Right. And there's no hidden agendas behind it. They're not trying to sell us some course. They're not trying to get us into some coaching program.
No.
And right. And unfortunately, at some of these other larger brokerages, that's the direction it went in for those agents and business owners to increase their revenue. And it just wasn't like that over here. And I will say that just from the looking at the opportunity growth wise, that we're now borderless. We can expand our organization without taking on more liabilities across the United States, into Canada, Mexico, and where we're opening up internationally. So that's it. Getting to really know that, and then the last part of it for our agents who don't have an exit strategy, there's an exit strategy in place, meaning that you get to be an equity owner in the company. And right now there's some brokerages that are starting to do it.
Yeah.
But what better, this was one of the first ones that I know about. The momentum's already here. Yep. And we've got a true retirement or exit strategy for the agents within the EXP organization. So, that's something that we could not offer our people at the time. So, that it's a great alignment here within the EXP brokerage and the Good Home team.
You know what? One of the coolest things I think is I study all this stuff about leadership and all of that. And when you study that kind of stuff, it shows you that 5% of the world are leaders and 95% of the world are followers. What I see with EXP, because I'm in it now 2.5 years also. So it's like what I see with it is it's a bunch of 5%ers. And when, like you and I, we click right away. And Beth, we click, we all do, our whole group. It's like, because we're those 5%ers. And when you get around them, you're just like fired up. It's that attraction. You just want to build more. And I see that with EXP. So these other companies that are trying to copy the model, it won't be successful or not as successful as EXP, because I'm not about to go anywhere. You're not about to go anywhere. And none of the other people are that we collaborate with. We're all building these huge empires. So it's like, you can't take from that. You just can't. And when you look at the agents, especially the failure rate for agents, 87% of them fail after their second year. It's like, they need to be with people like us who are going to pour into them and help them, and who are continually learning to try to help them live a better life. Right?
No, 100%. And it's continuing to help us challenge ourselves. I mean, that's one reason. And I know you're going to bring this up, so I'll bring it up right now, why we also collaborated together with yourself, me, Beth Ann Jones, about starting an agent group to help better the agents called our coalition group. Yep. Right. OCG. And so you're dead on with we're attracting the 5%ers from the leadership side. And if you don't feel that leadership calling, what better company to partner with and to being with this, where you get to learn from an amazing array of agents, right? And business owners who are building massive businesses. And if that rubs off just 5, 10, 15%, what would that do for you? What would that do for your family, right? The opportunity cost here, is huge for you to learn from and then take and implement to where it could be life-changing.
Totally. And it's like real estate as a whole, it's a hard industry. People look at it from the outside and they think it's easy until they get involved. And they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you guys are selling the amount of homes that you guys do. We sell like 3 or 4 a year. People that are doing 3, 4, 5, 6 a year, y'all are going to be gone. It's like, that's why we have this group. And it's cool. The coolest thing, one of the coolest things I think, is because we're dedicated. We're like committed to it. I am, because I was that single mom and nobody was there to help me. And I was in real estate and nobody was like, hey, let me show you this. Let me help you with that. Because all the other big box companies, they don't want to do that. They're all like, oh no, I'm not going to show you the secret. And you can't see this. I'm not going to tell you that, but I'll tell you a little bit of this. And we're not like that. It's like, I'm going to share everything. We're dropping stuff in our group all the time because we want them to live an abundant life, period.
You're dead on. And look, there's no competition, right? Mm-hmm. And you come from an abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset. And I was just on before this, I was on a Zoom call with some EXP agents sharing how they in their first 5 months, right? They went from their marketers to now new agents. In their first 5 months, they just through their YouTube course alone and their channels, they've already done 18 closings in their first 5 months in real estate, right? And they were sharing what is working from a video concept, from a hook concept, from a call to action. Yep. Right. There was no hidden strings behind it. They were just willing to share. And I said, guys, I'm in the same marketplace for you. And they're like, look, there's no competition. We've got more people moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area than agents can handle. Yeah. Right. Everyone has enough piece of the pie. Plus, they know, unfortunately, just like the majority of the population, there's very few that will actually implement. Yep. Right. Yes. So thus the reason why we can share all about it. You want to know what the reason why we're sharing everything is, because unfortunately there's very few that will actually take and implement. Mm-hmm.
And another cool thing that we have, Nick, that everyone needs to know about, I think for sure, at least the people in our group, we have this 90-day kickstart that's being built out right now. We'll have it ready by the 1st of June. And so, of course, we'll be sharing it with people that are affiliated with us because, number one, it's expensive to build out a system like that. So why wouldn't we share? But number two, because the average agent just isn't going to cut it. You guys are going to end up being gone in a year or two because the industry is changing and it's so disruptive right now. And why fight it? Why don't you just get involved with something that's like going head first into the future and building out these systems? And so we're going to have this really cool thing that we'll talk to you guys about after June 1st. Right?
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. You told me about this and I'm like, all right, I would sign up just to be a part of our coalition Facebook group, just to figure out how I can get access to this 90-day Kickstart program, because I mean, from everything that you've talked about it and the people that have implemented this, it has helped them get into production in less than 90 days.
Oh yeah, and it sets like the calendar is insane, because here's the deal: most real estate agents don't know what to do on a day-to-day basis. They don't know what to do at 2 o'clock. They don't know what to do at 10 o'clock. What do they do on Saturday? It's like, look, number one, if you're not at least working 40 hours, you're not going to be successful. You got to treat it like a job, but they don't. They go to these long broker open houses and they're called the lunch bunch. It's like, you guys need to be doing stuff that's, producing high leverage stuff. And so that's what it's about. It's getting you laser focused on a 40-hour work week. This is what you're going to do every day at 10 o'clock. This is what you're going to do at 3 o'clock. And when you're done, the goal is to be done by 5 or 6, however you structure your day. But it's a 40-hour work week, and it's insane. I cannot wait for it to be out. You're going to love it, Nick.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me too. Hey, tell everybody a little bit about your team. Now, I know you guys have been growing like crazy there, because you're an amazing leader and you're constantly training and teaching and pouring into them. But I know the Dallas market's been insane too with inventory. So what are you guys kind of doing to help your agents produce and to get homes under contract?
I mean, right now, so yeah, I'm super proud of them. We had our team meeting today. We've got it's 20 buyers under contract for this month. I think 13 or 14 sellers. I mean, 33, nice. 34 contracts at the moment. And really what we're teaching for our agents to win at a high level. We've got some great programs with a buy with cash strategy that's exclusive to the Good Home team. And that's why agents are partnering with us right now. But it's really focusing on helping them stay accountable to their consistency of lead gen. Yep. Right. The number one struggle that real estate agents have in this type of low inventory market, and their complaint is they feel like the Pop-Tart agent. Right. And it used to be the saying, the Pop-Tart agent back when inventory levels were normal, was that if someone would want to go see a house, you would just say, okay, when do you want to go see it, Trish? And then you would just run out and show without any type of vetting process. Well, in this market, you have to be a Pop-Tart agent, because someone wants to go see a house. There's probably going to be 50 other offers. And so you need to get in, you need to go run the numbers, and you need to figure out how to build enough rapport with the listing agent to try to beat out the 30, 40, 50, 60 other offers that there are. And so being a Pop-Tart agent right now is messing with their lead generation scheduling.
I bet.
Right? It's hard to stay in a lead gen routine when you have unpredictability with your showing schedule. And so what we've implemented right now is we brought on a lead coordinator manager who her entire job is to make sure that we're not falling behind on our past due follow-ups, and giving little nudges like, Trisha, just a reminder, you've got some follow-ups that were due yesterday or today. When can you get to those? And then it's that kind of little bit of a forceful hand there saying, all right, we're going to pull those leads out and give it to somebody else. And so that fear of lost opportunity sometimes helps motivate us to stay consistent when you're mentally exhausted.
And how are your buyers agents feeling right now? Are they exhausted?
They are. They are. But the rewarding feeling is when you do beat out 50 other offers. Yeah. I will say, like, I do, I'm fortunate enough that I have an amazing team, and I do minimal production. I'm 99.9% out of production, but I helped a client of ours beat out an offer yesterday. And it's a great feeling, right? It come on the market. There was many offers on it. And so that, you can ride the high off of that. You can use that as success stories of your evidence of success campaign, so that you can keep your buyer's eye on the prize, which is, look, we will get you into a home. We have yet to have a client go homeless. You're not going to be the first one, right? Yes. And we will find that perfect opportunity for you. And then the second biggest thing, and Tricia, you may be facing this there in Houston, is that the buyers, the buyers agents are fighting the mindset that this is an overinflated real estate market. And we've got a lot of PTSD from 2008, yep. Right? So we're having to re-educate the marketplace and yep. show them why this is not a 2008 type market. And so
talk a little bit about that, will you please?
Absolutely. So in 2008, right, the market crash was built on what was called the ninja loans, right? No income, no job, no assets, right? If you had a pulse, you could get approved for 100% financing. That means zero down payment, no money, no skin in the game on a house that you were buying. Oh, and by the way, the appraiser there was no appraisal guidelines, meaning if you needed a home to get appraised for a certain amount, you could find an appraiser who would give you that amount. And so there was truly overinflated prices. There was no equity in it. You were buying a house that was probably, with no down payment.
Yes.
And so if you lost your job or you fell behind financially, or by the way, all you had to do was lie and say, oh, I make X amount of money a month and a year, and they'll approve you for a loan. You should have never gotten that loan in the first place. Right. In today's lending guidelines, we're seeing we're restricting lending, financial regulations. We're seeing more and more buyers putting down 20, 30, 40%, maybe 50, just depending on how competitive they need to be. So homeowners are sitting on more equity than ever.
Yep.
Right. So this isn't the 2008 marketplace, because it's not built on a house of cards. This is built on actually solid foundation, in that if we do go through a cooling off period, what will end up happening, or someone gets in financial distress, they're not going to take the big hit because they have a lot of skin in the game. They're not going to go to the bank and do a short sale or a foreclosure, because they're not upside down. They have equity in the house.
Yep. And they can turn around and sell their house right now to anybody. We got buyers lined up at these houses.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so and it's just making sure that agents understand this at a high level. And unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of good training coming out, even from the brokerage level. And so this is where agents need to do a better job of educating how the economic, guidelines work, what's going on, how does the new presidential administration, what's the forecast on that?
Yeah.
And just understanding, like, look at the demand that's there. This is not inflated demand. This is people relocating, at least in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, Austin area. We're seeing a lot of influx and a lot of people moving in, and we have very little inventory. And unfortunately, from a COVID logistical standpoint, we're seeing a lot of shortages. You probably heard of lumber shortages. There's now a paint shortage. Yes. So it's in what that's doing is that's going to continue adding fuel to the fire with this crazy buying demand, because we don't have enough inventory to satisfy that hunger right now.
No. And I was even listening to the Keeping Current Matters report, and he was sitting there saying, as of today, we have 4 million less homes built than we typically do, because the buyers stopped, a lot of them stopped with COVID. And prior to COVID, a lot of them were already in a deficit from the 2008 crash. So it's like, we've already been in a shortage. We were just kind of living that way. But now, once COVID hit and so many people retracted, we're like, it's scarcity mindset now, because that's a lot of homes, 4 million homes. That's a lot. When you think of that, how many less homes there are in the market, now it makes sense when you get 40 and 50 offers on a property, only one buyer is going to win that property. That means 39 of them are going out looking again. And
by the way, the silver lining in this is that being a real estate professional, being that expert in the marketplace, is more crucial and vital than ever. Consumers need that right real estate professional now more than they did in 2017, 2016, 2015.
Yep.
Right. So your value as a real estate agent is at an all-time high.
Yep. It's critical. And I'm sitting there looking at you in your office. So before being with EXP, did you have a brick and mortar? Did you have your own space?
I did not have my own space. I officed out of the Keller Williams brokerage, which again, in hindsight, was not the best move for our team. Right. And this is what I'm advising a lot of agents now who aren't with EXP, or have that limiting belief that, hey, because we're a virtual company, they want to stay with their other brokerage because they offer office space.
Yep.
And I would say, look, I understand that. I get that. But let me ask you, is that real estate agent down the hall, are they going to send you referrals? Oh, no, they're not.
No.
right? So wouldn't you want to be in an office building made up of non-real estate agents so that you could go do what you do best, which is network and build rapport with them. And hopefully you start earning their business, maybe referral business from them. And now that office building becomes a cash machine for you.
Yep. So you guys, did you do your brick and mortar then once you finally made the decision you're doing EXP and you're staying there?
So yes, so we had signed our lease in December of 2018, and we just made the full on decision to move into it, even when we retracted and went back to Keller Williams after those 3 days.
Yep.
And that was our mindset, is that we wanted to have our own ideas and opinions. We didn't want to have we didn't want to be under that what we felt was the handcuff within the brokerage. Yep. And two, yes, it allowed us to be able to have our own space, to throw our own events, and to be able to network. We're in a shopping retail space here, so we're able to support the local businesses, and thus in turn, hopefully, they support our business.
How many agents are on your team now, Nick?
We have 11 agents on the team. We have over 340 agents within the downline organization.
I love that. And so your 11 agents, do they come into the office every day?
The majority of them do. Yeah. Yep. And I'll say because of COVID, we've not made that a requirement the way we did before. And our production has continued to still increase. So, the silver lining in a COVID style world now is that we are less rigid on our standards of coming in the office, but our production level has still continued. Our business has still continued to go up.
So for me, since COVID, when everyone's been having to work by themselves and work alone, it's like people I feel are hungry for that synergy. They need that. So like here, we have a brick and mortar too, just like you do. And the agents need that. We do weekly sales meetings. We do weekly training. There's people in here every single day. There's people in the training room right now. And it's like, when people are left alone, they tend to flounder. And especially the more that when you have collaboration, like you're talking about right there, they know they can come in here and knock on my door at any time and ask me a question. I'm right here. Our director of ops is just around the hallway. There's help at all times, just like you. You're in the office all the time. Mm-hmm. You're pouring in. It's not like you're out absentee owner, This
no,
is
100%.
What you do.
Yeah, 100%. And look, it builds that camaraderie, right?
Yep.
And so when maybe you feel like you're getting your teeth kicked in a little bit on your lead gen, and there's some others around it, you can feed off that momentum and energy. And so if you're doing it by yourself, maybe you have that pity party a little bit longer than you would than if you were in the office, right? And so,
oh yeah,
yep. I'm truly an office. I believe in the office. I'm truly an in-person kind of face-to-face, belly-to-belly type person. I don't think that will ever change.
So we want to talk for a minute, you guys. So we, like Nick said, we formed a group. It's our coalition group. It's OCG. What our mission is building better lives by building better agents. And that's what we truly wholeheartedly believe, is that we can help everybody live an abundant life. We want it to be a place for everyone to go, a place where we can share, a place where y'all can ask questions if you're not getting help at your own brokerage. So find us on Facebook. And what we're going to do, really soon, probably next month. I know here in Houston, we've got one launching June 22nd. They're going to be events. And here it's called Mastering Your Real Estate Career. Because again, you guys, with COVID, there was no live events and everyone was on a Zoom. And when you're on these Zooms, half the time you're not listening, you're multitasking. So it's better in person. So I know in Houston here, June 22nd, we're launching one. I'm not going to tell you guys the panel yet. I'm hosting it. I'm the moderator. If y'all know, I like to interview people. So I got 4 really cool broker / team leaders that are going to come on. They're all from different companies. So y'all are going to stay tuned for that. That's coming. I'm just trying to secure the venue, just like Nick. Nick's got one that's going to launch too. And we're going to help each other, and we're going to collaborate. We're going to be at each other's events if we can. And Beth is going to do one as well. And so you guys make sure and be watching for that, because it's going to be free for y'all. You're going to come in there and learn all kinds of stuff. People are just going to be dropping information and free stuff to help you grow your business. And in this day and age with, Zillow and Redfin and all these people trying to disrupt us and take our commission, you need to be working and learning from people that are just out there trying to help y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Ours is coming soon. We're just securing the venue.
The venue is a real hard problem. So you guys listening to this, if y'all know someone, like we're expecting 75 to 100 people at our event. So if you know of a venue that's willing, like ours here in Houston is ideal for 11 to 2. That's what it's slotted for right now, a lunch and learn kind of thing. So if y'all know somebody that has an in for that, reach out to me, Nick too. That's our struggle right now, is securing the venues. People are still scared.
Yep. But it will be great. I mean, be great information. It will all be, at least ours will be recorded. So you'll be able to get the recording and play back, which is something that I really love, because when I'm at events, there's where I want to be present and really absorb, and I'm not 100% always taking the best notes. So it'll be a great events. We're learning from the best on this. So go over to OCG, our coalition group. And Trisha, I'm sure you can just drop that in the comments. And and I'm excited to see yours. I'm excited to see how the launch goes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see yours too. You guys just hit us up. We're out here trying to help y'all. Nick's in Dallas. I'm here in Houston. Beth's in the Amarillo area. We're just here to help y'all grow. We are with EXP, but we help everybody, because at the end of the day, we don't want anyone to struggle. Real estate's hard. We're here. We're open book, right, Nick?
That's right. Always.
Hey, tell everybody how they can find you, Nick.
So go over to nickgood.work. All my information is there. You can find me on Facebook, as well as I do run a podcast called The Only Real Estate Podcast Worth Listening To. So go check that out.
It's super cool, y'all. Hey, you did a live podcast too. Are you going to do that again?
We are. We're going to do that. We're trying to nail down a schedule on that, whether it's a monthly or quarterly deal. And so it shockingly, we had a great turnout, which we're just, it's myself and 2 other agents from a Keller Williams brokerage. And so, it's raw topics, right? Usually we come up with it the day of or the day before what we're experiencing in our businesses. So, there's no hidden agenda behind it. Just like we talked about EXP, there's no hidden agenda behind it. It's just what we're experiencing right now. And if we're experiencing those problems or those successes, I'm sure there's other agents out there that are going through the same thing.
And so will you update everybody in our OCG group too, once you get that nailed down with your date and stuff?
100%. Yep. That will all be promoted out there so that anybody can come take a look at it. And we will, if there's any venues, I do know we are willing to go on the road for that. We're trying to secure a spot in Florida, and as well as in St. Louis. So that, again, you get to hear the best of this is not just EXP. This is we want to be broker neutral on this. There's no hidden messaging, hidden agenda behind it.
No, I love that. So basically, you guys need to pay attention to our Facebook group, because that's where you're going to learn about these events, learn how to grow and double your business. And definitely you'll learn about the 90-day kickstart once we launch it. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, today. Make sure you tune in on Tuesdays at 12 o'clock Central. Thank you, Nick, for being here.
Thank you.
You guys have a great day.
Take care.
Bye.